What is up, everyone? How are you guys doing today? I was sitting around the other day thinking about what I could bring, or what we could bring to the YouTube channel, and I thought of story time.
Story time. Yeah.
Okay, no.
Oops.
It's going to be about how I met my better half, Cliff.
Yay. That's me, y'all. In case y'all didn't know.
My babe.
The babe. Anyway, y'all, how's everybody doing today? I know Bianca already said that. Anyway, like Bianca said, we were sitting around thinking about what kind of content can we bring you, our viewers. We're new to this, totally new to this, don't really know what works, what doesn't work, anything like that. So, as she said, she came up with the idea of story time. Story time meaning that we could just tell a story about anything and everything and deliver it to you, our awesome and lovely viewers. So with that said, today's story is about how Bianca and I met. So we're gonna rewind about 4.5 years ago. Yeah, it's been a long time. But anyway, we're gonna go back to about May 2013. At the time I was working at McDonald's. Please, y'all don't say nothing about that. But I was working at McDonald's. I'd been there probably about 1.5 years, 2 years maybe, going on 2 years. I was a cook on the grill. I was some other things. I was sort of kind of part-time manager. I was kind of a little bit of everything, like I said. But basically I went in every day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, worked till 10 at night, did my job, didn't really talk to a whole lot of people. Talk with my fellow grill mates, mainly about food, about orders, about business. You know, talk to the cashiers, the drive-through people up front, you know, when bagging orders and stuff like that. But I really didn't associate with people. I didn't really become friends with these folks and hang out with them after work or anything. I just went to work, got my job done, called it a day, went home, did whatever I do after work. Again, being May, like I said, it was May 2013. Being May being the month of May in fast food, the way it usually works is that you start bringing in some extra help for the summertime. When the kids are out of school, parents aren't quite as active at work or taking off to do things with their kids during the summer. You know, stuff like that. Fast food restaurants often need extra help. So we were kind of in that process of hiring some new people. A couple weeks go by, a week and a half, 2 weeks go by. I noticed that there were some new faces around the restaurant, but I didn't really pay attention to who was who or anything like that. As like I said, I mean, I just went, I did my job, and I called it a day. So after about a couple weeks, you know, like I said, I'd do my job, I'd go up to the cash register, get ready to clock out, go to punch in my numbers. You know, my manager might say bye to me, or, you know, so one of my fellow employees might say, "Hey Cliff, are you working tomorrow?" Or when do you work next?" or something like that. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, yada yada yada," you know, whatever. So like I said, I kind of started noticing some new faces around work. And one night I just happened to go clock out. I was walking up to the cash register, go clock out. My buddy back on the grill, Chris, he was like, "Hey man, you working tomorrow night?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow." You know, same bat time, same bat channel, you know, same thing. Another dollar, another day. He's like, "All right, well dude, I'll see you tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, I'll be here." And about that time I heard this voice, "Bye, Cliff." And I was like, okay, I didn't really pay no attention to it. So I clocked on out, went on home. Next day, come back to work. Rinse, repeat the whole process again. 10 o'clock comes around, time to clock out. Here I am again, standing at the cash register, about to clock out, hit the buttons. There, you know, buddy says bye, whatever. And I hear this female voice, "Bye, Cliff." Again, I don't really think about it. Well, this goes on for about a week and a half maybe. And finally, at some point, I kind of sit down while I'm at home and I'm thinking, hey man, I keep hearing this female's voice say bye to me every day. And I don't even know who this girl is, to be honest with you. I don't have a clue. So I'm thinking to myself, you know, there must be something. There must be a reason why she's saying this to me every night. And I feel pretty, I guess, dumb or something for at least not acknowledging her. especially because I was kind of higher up in the store. I was, like I say, kind of considered management when management wanted me to be management, I guess. So anyway, so I thought, well, you know what? Next time I go to work in a couple of days, I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna see who this person is. If this person says bye to me again. So a couple of days later, I go back to work. Same story, different day type thing. Get ready, clock out, and I hear this, "Bye, Cliff." So finally, I said, you know what? Okay, this is my chance. I'm turning around. I look. This girl here, this one right here. Yeah. I realized it's her that said bye to me. So I'm thinking, oh God, really not sure who this is. I think I've heard people call her by her name. At least the name that I hope is her name is the one I'm fixing to say. Of course, all this took place in a matter of seconds, and I just quickly said, "Bye, Bianca." And that was that. Pretty harmful. Pretty nonchalant. Just kind of, hey, it is what it is, So that went on for a couple days or so, figured, hey, I gotta be nice to this girl. I am kind of in management, like I said. Gotta be nice to her, I can't be rude. Went on for a couple more nights, her saying bye to me, I'm finally saying bye to her, letting her have a time of the day. But anyway, the story kind of goes from there, and I'm gonna let her tell the rest of the story, because she can tell it a little bit better than I can, I think.
So, I'm gonna start off with my perspective. I wanted a job. I was still living with my mom. At the time, and it was about, the first week of May, I finally got a job at McDonald's. And, I didn't associate much with people. I, went there, clock in, do my job, and come back home. So, after, getting comfortable with people and talking to people, I laid my eyes on this one right here. So, I was like, when he clocks out, I'm gonna say bye to him. So, every night for about maybe a week or so, I said goodbye with no response from him. He was not giving me the time of day. He did not want to talk to me, it seemed. And I felt that, why keep wasting your time on someone that does not want to talk to you? I either figured he had a girlfriend, or he just was like, no, I'm not giving you the time of day at all. So, the next day I go to work, I clock in, I do my regular job, whatever, on the counter. I was taking orders and everything, so I look over there and he was putting food on the tray, and I was just looking at him. He kind of looked in my general direction, so I was like, okay. So that night, he goes to clock out, and I say, bye, Cliff, and he says, bye, Bianca. Like, okay, you said bye to me, you acknowledged me, but you're saying it as if you just don't even want anything to do with me at all. So, a couple of nights go by where, we're saying goodbye and hello, how are you? And a couple days later, my mom comes in, she sees her friend, and they're talking, they're conversating. I'm, working, doing whatever I do. And, what the fuck are you doing? And my mom's friend comes up to the counter. His name is Johnny. And he was like...
Well, we'll save that story for another day.
Yeah.
Because Johnny has a story of his own.
So, Johnny comes up to the counter and says, Bianca, if I can't get a hold of your mom on her phone, can I have your number? And I was thinking in my head, hell no, I am not giving my number to you. So, you know what? I blurred out a fake number. Okay, he writes it down.
555.
Yeah, I think I said some crazy ass numbers. But anyway, I gave him a fake number. He walked away and did whatever he was doing. So I was, still on the counter. I did not know that Cliff was even listening or anything like that. So I made a remark.
They call that eavesdropping, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
So I made a remark to one of my co-workers that was working with me. I was like, haha, that's a fake number, whatever. I am not giving this dude my real number. And that's when Cliff came over and said, was that your real number? I was like, no. He was like, well, can I have your number? I was like, okay. So I grabbed my phone because I did not personally know my number. So I grabbed my phone and I go into the settings and I get the number. He puts it in his phone. He texts me where I can have his number. You know,
I mean, I was working at the time. I text her hours later.
no, you did not.
Oh.
Yeah. So he texted me his number. I had his number. I saved it as Cliff, whatever. And
Pretty appropriate name to save it under. Oh. Oh.
so, you know, we were just texting back and forth. Hey, how are you? Nothing really out of the ordinary. Hey, how are you? What time are you clocking in? What time are you going to work? Do you go to work at 2? Because I was scheduled every day to go in at 2, and so was he. So after a few days of texting or whatever, it was nothing serious. And one day I go up there to go check the schedule to see what days I was working and what times I was clocking in. So Cliff was on a little, 5-minute, 10-minute break. I go outside, I grab my drink, he gives me a free drink. Why? I do not know. Maybe because I work there, I don't know. He gave me a free drink. We go outside, my mom is outside, she's talking to one of her friends. I'm talking to Cliff, and then he goes back into work, or he is ready to go back and work, and he gives me a hug.
I don't know about being ready, but I had to.
Yeah, he had to. But he gives me a hug, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have a chance. Because I did, when I first started, a couple of days into my work, whenever I started, I did have a crush on Cliff, and I was telling people that I did have a crush on Cliff. So, a few days go in.
Young love.
Young love my ass.
Oh.
I'm tired of you, really.
Doors right here. Oh.
But, he gives me a hug and tells me good night. I hope you, drive safely and all this other good stuff. So I will give it back to Cliff.
So that's pretty much how the story happens between me and Bianca. Like she said, we just kind of started texting. Those texts kind of led into more texts, phone conversations. Finally, I know it seems like, months down the road, but it was only a couple of weeks or so, probably about 2.5 weeks maybe at the most. I finally, I'm just going to be blunt here. I finally grew a set of balls and I asked her out, knowing straight up I didn't stand a chance, because how can anybody like me be so lucky to get someone as beautiful as this right here?
Aww.
So I took a chance, said, hey, we're both off tomorrow. I know this because I help make the schedule. I read the schedule. I just happened to see your name has the word off written
Just
by it
happened
tomorrow.
To see my name.
I mean, it was in big, bold, pink highlight or something. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
So I took the chance, asked her out on a date, asked her if she wanted to go to the movies or something. What do you know? 4.5 years later,
We're here together.
here we sit.
It's been a bumpy road.
It's been a bumpy road at times. It's been a long road at times, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's been 4.5 years. We've had our ups and downs, but you know what? Relationship doesn't. It's in the end, it's worked out. It's gotten us here. Here we are making videos to tell you the story about it. It's kind of funny looking back, two people working at McDonald's, meeting each other, and being together for however long you're together. Be it, 10 days, 2 weeks, 6 months, 2 years, going on almost 5 years now. I mean, it's just a cool little story. And I'm really glad that Bianca came up with this story time for our videos, especially now that we have this camera that we have, and just starting off and recording our videos, just learning and everything. Excuse me. So this really gives us a chance to express ourselves, to tell y'all, our viewers, about us, who we are, what we stand for, that type of thing. This is definitely something that I think Bianca agrees with, that we're going to do more often. story time is important. We also want to show y'all what's outside the doors, you know, what kind of things we go see, what kind of things we may go do. Like I said in the last video, you know, we just got this camera, trying to take a lot of pictures, trying to learn some photography stuff and everything like that. So like I said, expect some more story times from both of us. Maybe a time that she does story time by herself. I may do story time by myself. I of course will be doing more videos for my tech channel, techdissected.com, because I do tech reviews on my own website. So y'all will at least be hearing my voice in some other videos that I'll be linking to as well. I may or may not be in those videos. I'm not real sure. It depends, you know, how that's going to happen, how I decide to film them or whatever like that. But at least we're at least going to produce story time some more and get some other stories together, do some other crazy things on the channel, because we want to entertain y'all. Because without y'all, we wouldn't be here today. We would be, but we wouldn't be here on this camera today. Just so y'all know.
Without you guys.
Without y'all. So I mean, y'all are the ones that make this happen. So with that said, we are going to wrap this up. Right now, we don't know what the next video is going to be.
Never know.
Those gears got to kick in.
Yep.
The smoke's got to start coming out of our ears, and then we start putting.
Who are you talking?
So about that 4.5 years thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are going to wrap this up. We ask you to hit the subscribe button down below.
And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
And like
Share it
Cliff
to
said, share and subscribe.
Absolutely. Share it to your social media. We're sorry if we flood you with the shares to our social media, but you know, we're trying to get people to watch it. So that's what we do. I'm sure y'all understand. We're not the only ones doing it. Until next time, everybody have a good evening.
We will see you guys later.
Absolutely. Have a great and wonderful evening.